You are now tuned into the sounds of
Big Nate Sports Talk.
It's on all the time, anytime.
You are now tuned in to Big Nate Sports Talk, the show that is on all the time, anytime. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the next big thing, the latest up-and-coming sports journalist, your host, Nathan Snell.
Thank you, Mr. Anthony Haney, for that wonderful introduction. Happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you're all having a great week so far. Hope you're all staying safe. This is episode 16, season 15 of Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. And this episode is week 8 of the WNBA as we get ready for All-Star Weekend. It should be a fun weekend. Before we get to that, there's a few things I'd like to say up front. MLB draft is pretty much finished. We're going to do grades for all 30 teams, but specifically, we're going to break down the Baltimore Orioles and the Washington Nationals and their draft picks. I'm also going to do a video that will be recorded. Hope to have that video up by Thursday, which is tomorrow. Excuse me. Hope to have that up as soon as possible for you guys to have that out. I'm still working on the WNBA content up as fast as I can. I have everything downloaded. Just got to get uploaded on YouTube. So that'll be a weekend project. That's pretty much all the announcements I have. We're almost getting ready for football. Other than that, I appreciate the support. I do appreciate everyone's patience. Episodes will be out. Content will be out. We'll be back on Maryland, writing for Maryland Sports Blog. I do have an announcement regarding the 21st regarding the Washington Mystics. So stay tuned in for that. But other than that, let's just get into it. Brendan cannot join me on this episode, so I'm doing this one by myself. And also, too, first half of the report card for the Washington Mystics, I will have a piece written on MarylandSportsBlog.com, and I will also do a video before we get started with the second half of the season. Now, week 8. This is just going to be really a short week. It's only going to be like a couple games this week as they get ready to go out to Las Vegas. There's one team that after 8 weeks officially came out of the top 5. There was some teams that disappointed. There were some things that happened. I'm just going to get it out. Let's just address the elephant in the room. It's not really an elephant, but if you don't know, Sabrina Ionescu was put on the cover of NBA 2K24. And while congratulations for making the cover, some feel like she should not have been put on the cover. You can make an argument that Asia Wilson should have been put on the cover, Jewel Lloyd. I had a couple other players that I thought of. I would like to know what the qualifications are to be put on the cover. Because if you look at her track record, at Oregon, great player. Coming into the W, I don't know if it's still if she's an adjustment period. I don't know what it is. But why Sabrina? That's just my question. I would have liked to have seen, like I said, Asia or Jewel, but that's just a rhetorical question. Why Sabrina? And I'm gonna leave it at that. I just would like to know why. Again, congratulations. I'm happy she made the cover. Congratulations for her. But I would just like to know what the qualifications are when making a cover, like on the game like NBA 2K. Week 8, we're going to start with Indiana Fever. They're 0-3. They're 0-3 this past week. They lost 7 in a row, losing to us and Minnesota. They got their game. They had the game against Dallas, but that didn't happen. Lost by 1. This is what a team that when they're going through growing pains looks like. It's all about patience and just you're going to have peaks and valleys. I still think they can make a trade because there's definitely some things. I think some adjustments in the lineup should be made, in my personal opinion. But yeah, this is what I pretty much would expect. And I think they'll get it together in the second half. But I think just is where they should be. Number 11, the Phoenix Mercury. They snapped their latest losing streak. How many games it was? I know they beat the Sparks, but I mean, other than Brittany Griner, congratulations making the All-Star team. There's really not much I can say regarding Phoenix. It's just nothing spectacular to watch. It's just a lot of going on. I don't think Skylar's going to be back with them. I think she's going to move on from them. I know they get Vegas on Tuesday. They got Vegas yesterday, excuse me. But other than that, there's really not much to say. Whippy, I think they're actually in the running, if I'm not mistaken, correct. I think they're in the running for next year All-Star. So we'll see. Number 10, Seattle. Again, this was probably a disappointing week. I watched the game. Jewel Lloyd went down with an ankle sprain. I don't think that'll impact her to play in the All-Star game. But having a back-to-back against Washington where she went off on us and then Atlanta. Yeah, so we'll see. So there's nothing much other spectacular going in Seattle. Los Angeles, same thing. It's just the injuries. And then a couple of players are also non-COVID. Lexi Brown. Coming into this week, they've lost 5 in a row. I mean, Lexi Brown is still out with non-COVID illness. She should be returning soon. Lachey Clarendon should be probably sometime after All-Star break. Chene Ngumake, Carly Samuelson, and then De'Erica Hamby sprained her ankle against Phoenix. So this season, they just cannot catch a break with the injuries, and I feel so bad for them. But when you've got that amount of injuries and illnesses, the biggest thing is they lack depth and energy. Those are the 2 biggest things I've seen so far. And they're second to last in offensive rating. And I already kind of know what to expect them playing Las Vegas. So not surprised about that. And number 8, again, is a Chicago team that just lost their head coach. I mean, I feel like they were playing decent. Kalea Copper had, to me, 2 good games. Not really surprised, a little mini resurgence. They went 3-0 the week before after losing James Wade, going to the NBA. But They're playing really well. They actually, for the most part, if I remember the stat correctly, they have 79 fourth quarter turnovers. And they've scored 20 fourth quarter points in the 2 losses, and they're like 11th in scoring in the fourth, which is not bad. But they just got to find consistency, especially down the stretch. Those are the things that I see, especially watching them when they've played us, Washington. Those are something they've got to continue to fix. Number 7, Minnesota. They just it came to an end Sunday against Las Vegas painfully. But I mean, other than that, the 3 losses to Las Vegas, other than Vegas, they've played decently well. I mean, that 24-point loss, other than that, they won 8 of their last 11. They're facing a Las Vegas team where they've been outscored by 76 points. And compared to the other 7 games, they've been outscored by like 58, 59 points, if I've never seen that stat correctly. So I think Minnesota is doing just fine. They're almost still, if you look at the playoffs, to me, ended today, they be in the playoffs. But other than that, I think they'll have a good second half. I'm still waiting to hear from waiting on what Aerial Power is going to look like in the second half. I'm hoping she gets back out there. Dorka should be in the Rookie of the Year conversation, in my opinion, and also to Diamond Miller. They've both been playing well, stepping up, especially in the absence of injuries. But for Minnesota, they're looking pretty good going into All-Star break. And for the first time, the Washington Mystics fall out of the top 5. A couple things that occurred. The Washington Mystics traded Amanda Zahui for Queen Enegbo.
These are legitimate questions. I don't have answers. I'm starving for answers. I'm starving for them because I don't have them.
Let me first address that. So if memory serves me correct, I want to make sure I say this correctly. I'm not coming across as criticizing or bashing, but we traded Amanda for a draft pick this past off season. Now, some people are aware, but I've not been pleased with the usage of the bench. And there have been a few games before she was traded to Indiana where she's not even coming off the bench. Now, to me, Amanda is a post player that can defend, can rebound. They can even step back and shoot the ball. You turned around, and while the trading her for Queen Enegbo was a good trade, because I think naturally she's a power forward, and I think she's a good rebounder, and I think naturally she'll fit in Washington's system. But I feel like we wasted a draft pick and a player if we were not going to use their skill sets. So, like, I don't know what to expect from it. I'm happy. Welcome to DC, Queen. But that was very mind-boggling, because that's the exact same thing I would have expected Amanda to do for us. And then on top of that, Elena Delle Donne went down with another ankle injury, the same ankle injury, in the loss to Connecticut. I question that. We're getting ready for All-Star break. She should not have been playing. I would not even have had her playing at all. I would have had her resting. But that's just me. Again, didn't have Natasha Cloud, Shakira Austin, Chrissy Tolliver. I mean, Queen did fine in the game Sunday. She had 8.7 rebounds for the Connecticut, but I mean, she just played 13 minutes and didn't even score a basket. Elena Delle Donne. So I was very, very upset. And then on top of that, then Ariel, yesterday, she got hurt. So, and she didn't even come back into the game. So I would have really hoped that we'd have started shutting down some players before the All-Star break. I will say the good news is that they don't appear to be long-term injuries. So I'm expecting some players to come back healthy soon. I've seen Shakira out there on the court, practice gym, getting back. But other than that, I've just been disappointed to see the injuries, and at the wrong time too, going into All-Star break. But we've held our own. We're 10-8. We're doing okay for now. I still think the Mystics should make a trade, personally. But again, now I think now Ariel Powers out. Ariel Atkins. That kind of puts a damper on the shooting because that's a shooter that's on there. But Tiana Hawkins, like I said, it's just been a gem for the team. I mean, no matter the role, she is going out there and giving 115%. Maisha Hines Allen, same thing. I'm just proud of just seeing others stepping up, and I would appreciate it again more if Coach Eric gives them more opportunities. But that's just my opinion. But before we get into the top five, let's get into the sponsor of Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast, and that is Zagnif Apparel. Ladies and gentlemen, do you want to dress like you're already famous? You can and you will with Zagnif Apparel.
The following is a presentation of Zagnif Productions, LLC. Introducing Zagnif Apparel. Our comfortable line of leisure wear and athletic wear will have you comfortable and stylish at any occasion. Whether you're at the gym, out shopping, or just relaxing at home. Whether you're an athlete or just want to lay around the house, we've got the perfect outfit for you. Stop by our website today and pick up your favorite pieces. Zagnif Apparel. Dress like you're already famous.
And you can most certainly do that with a nice 15% off your final purchase using my code BIGNATE for 15% off. Thank you, Zagnif Apparel, for being a sponsor of Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. We are back entering the top five, the Atlanta Dream. For me, they've had the longest winning streak, I believe, was at 5 as of today, before they face Seattle. They beat the Sparks, Chicago, Ryan Howard, who I believe should be, now that Elaine is out, should be going into the All-Star game, in my personal opinion. Alicia Gray, Cheyenne Parker, All-Stars. They're just playing dream basketball, and I like it so far. I think that's actually the longest win streak, I want to say, since 2018, 2019, if I'm saying that correctly. Ryan Howard, reigning Rookie of the Year. She's averaging about 24 a game. She's doing pretty well. She's shooting about 56%. I want to say correctly, remember those stats correctly. So they're doing their thing, man. shout out to the Dream. Number 4, that team in Dallas. Again, they won the last 4 of their 5. They snapped the Las Vegas Aces winning streak. That was a sight for that was a sight to see. In terms of the game, it was a good game to me. I mean, Tierra McCown, I keep saying it again, has just been a difference maker. They're now 6-3 with her in the starting lineup compared before she went back over for Euro basketball. They were 4-6. They're playing exceptionally well. Natasha Howard's game-winning free throws was big, and then because after she was fouled by Asia Wilson, unfortunately, and then beating Indiana. So, but that's their third. That's actually their third road win of the season so far. So they get Minnesota Wednesday, which is today. So it should be interesting. Number 3, that super team in New York. I mean, sure, they played well. I mean, to me, they had trouble closing out a couple games this week. I mean, they still beat Phoenix and Seattle, but both teams stayed competitive, in my personal opinion. Brianna Stewart had 43 points, had a double against Phoenix, and then 25 and 8 against Seattle. Now we'll see. Now that's a pretty good way to go into All-Star break. I mean, the last person who did something like that was Candace Parker from the FBS, and that was 2008. So, I mean, the last player had 40 points, 10 rebounds. So, hey, if you look at it, she should be in the MVP conversation, but she's doing her own thing. Number 2, the Connecticut Sun. I still think let's give it some time. I understand not having Brianna Jones, excuse me. It makes a difference. But now this is the AT and DeWanna Bonner show. They're starting going out there and they're playing their ass off. They beat us and beat Seattle. They get Chicago and went today. I mean, the 19 games, DeWanna has 42. And AT's doing her thing as well. So listen, I mean, Alyssa Thomas, if you look at the stats, she's averaging a double-double. Oh, you can almost actually low-key say triple-double. I think she's averaging 15, 9, and 8 assists so far in the season. So that's almost a triple-double for me. And I think her leading the offense, she has 38 assists, and I think that creates open shots for Rebecca Allen, Tiffany Hayes, Dejanay Carrington. It just opens up the floor for so much. And I think that I still feel like they need to make a trade, but I know they don't have the cap, but I feel like they can make some moves there, in my opinion. That's just me. And number 1, the team that did have their winning streak snapped, yes, their historic start to the season was ended by Dallas, and then turned right back around. And Kelsey Plum gave us a 40 piece. So congratulations to her, especially beating Minnesota and making 14 of 18 shots and all 6 free throws. So that's a WNBA record. So that's the 6th. She's the 6th player this season to score 40 points. That's a record. She did start off slow, like I did. There was a bit of a slump, but she's picked it back up. So, and her shooting stats the last 10 games are immaculate basketball. So, for me, I think that should be where the rankings for Week 8 should be so far going into All-Star break. It should be a great time for everybody to regroup. Hopefully, get some key players back healthy. Hopefully, I didn't even mention Jessica Shepard for the Minnesota Lynx. I'm hoping she's doing okay. Same way with Lexi. Hope to see them back on the floor soon. But like I said, I do expect a couple trades and probably some roster moves to happen. So let's just get into the final thought of the podcast.
thoughts are running through my mind. So I took some time to find a minute or two to organize.
So, most likely for the All-Star game, there should be probably most likely an announcement that Ryan Howard will be Elena Delle Donne's replacement. I was hoping that Brianna Jones, I keep saying Brianna Jones would have been named an All-Star, to me, I feel like she should have been named All-Star and then someone be named at her replacement for injury. But the All-Star teams were announced. It took place on the 8th, and it's going to be Team Stewart versus Team Wilson. Team Stewart has Jewel Lloyd, Satu Sabli, Nneka Ogwumike, Brittany Griner as the starting five, Brianna Stewart. And then coming off the bench, Kalia Copper, Sabrina Ionescu, Kelsey Mitchell, Courtney Vandersloot, Nafisa Collier, and Ezzy McGregor, led by your head coach, Stephanie White, leading Team Stewart. Team Wilson is starting five, Chelsea Gray, Jackie Young, Arike Ngubawale, Asia Wilson, and the number one overall pick, Aaliyah Boston, her first All-Star appearance. Coming off in the reserves, Alicia Gray, Kelsey Plum, DeWanna Bonner, Elena Delle Donne has been in the reserve, but due to her injury against Connecticut, and will be ruled out of the All-Star game, unfortunately. Most likely, it should be Ryan Howard named as her replacement. Cheyenne Parker, Alyssa Thomas, led by Becky Hammond as the head coach for Team Wilson. A couple other things I did want to point out. Still do not know who will be in a three-point shooting contest, other than still waiting on that. And then the skills challenge, you have Team Aces, Team Dream, Team Liberty versus Team Dallas. So Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum will be Team Aces. Alicia Gray, Cheyenne Parker will be Team Dream. Sabrina Ionescu, Courtney Vandersloot will be Team Liberty. And Arike Ngubawale and Satu Sabli will be Team Dallas in the skills competition. I would like a little bit more communication in terms of, when the game's going to start, who's going to be in the shooting contest. I don't like when they wait to the almost 2 or 3 days before the competition starts. So I was very, very surprised that we're at this point so far, because we should have had something by now. So, because today is the 13th as I'm recording this video. I'm recording this video late in the evening. I would have expected by yesterday, which was Tuesday, and hopefully by tomorrow, today's Wednesday, hopefully by later today, Thursday at the latest, we should be knowing who's going to be in the three-point contest. So, not having that yet. That's interesting. So, that's going to conclude this episode of Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. Please tune in for future episodes. Again, please continue to support all the content on the channel. You'll have everything uploaded WNBA content-wise. We're getting ready for the second half of the season. The Washington Mystics. We'll be back with Maryland Sports Blog on that. We'll be back with making videos and other content you'll see very, very soon. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace. Have a good night.
Won't you stay here with me? And if you want to know how long that's going to be, I'll always be true. And baby, I promise you that I'll be right here for you. No matter the problem, girl, I'll be by your side. 'Cause the love we share can never be denied. Ooh. Can't be denied.
Thank you for tuning in to Big Nate Sports Talk. If you enjoyed that episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and share the next big thing, the next up-and-coming sports journalist, Big Nate Sports Talk. It's on all the time, anytime.
I want to thank you, yeah. I want to thank you. Ooh. For all the times you put up with me. Thank you. And you helped me retain my sanity. Thank you. I want to thank you. And I want to thank you. All I want to do is say thank you for everything